Hello students, welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. So in this video I will discuss the chapter 15 of your 12th class NCERT biology book, which is Biodiversity and Conservation. It is the last chapter. I will discuss this in this video. It is the last chapter of your book and tomorrow is your exam, so I hope you will get benefit of it. So let's start. At first, what is biodiversity? It is the totality of gene, species and ecosystem of a given region. The term was first coined by Edward Wilson. Diversity ranges from macromolecules to biomes. Diversity can be genetic diversity or species diversity or ecological diversity. At first, what is genetic diversity? Greater the genetic diversity among organisms of a species, more sustenance it has against environmental perturbations. Genetically uniform population are highly prone to disease, harsh environment. Actually, the genetic diversity refers to the ranges of different inherited traits. In a species with high genetic diversity, there would be many individuals with wide variety of different traits. Then species diversity. Important measures to calculate the species diversity are species richness, which refers to the number of species present in an unit area, and species evenness means the relative abundance with which each species is represented in an area. The variety and number of individuals determine the level of diversity of an ecosystem. Western Ghats have greater diversity of amphibian species than Eastern Ghats. Then ecological diversity. Ecological diversity is related to species diversity. India has greater ecosystem diversity. It has several biomes like alpine meadows, rainforest, desert, wetland and mangroves. Then global diversity, according to IUCN, the total number of plant and animal species is about 1.5 million present in globe. More than 70% of species recorded are animals, and plant account for about 22%, and 70% of animals are insect. That means more than 70% of the species are animal, and plants are present only 22%, and 70% of the animals are insect only. A more conservative and scientifically sound estimate has been made by Robert May. It puts the global species diversity at about 7 million. Then these are different types of invertebrates, vertebrates, plants present all across the globes. These estimates do not give any figure of prokaryotes for the following reason. Why? Because the conventional or traditional taxonomic methods are not sufficient for identifying the microbial species. Many of these species cannot be cultured under laboratory conditions. Biochemical and molecular biology techniques would put their diversity into millions. Then biodiversity in India. India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. It has only 2.4% of the land area of the world and has 8.1% of the global species diversity. There are about 45,000 species of plant and about 90,000 to 1 lakh species of animal present in India. New species are yet to be discovered and named, obviously. Applying Robert May's global estimate, only 22% of total species have been recorded. India has probably more than 1 lakh species of plants and 3 lakh species of animals to be discovered and described. Then patterns of biodiversity, it is not uniform throughout the world but varies with latitude and altitude. Favorable environmental condition favor the speciation, that means the formation of a new species, and make it possible for larger number of species to exist there. That is, biodiversity is more in such areas than the others. Where the environmental conditions are suitable, more diversity occurs there. Then variation of species with latitude. Number of species of vascular plants in tropics is about 10 times more than the temperate forest. Amazon rainforest has greater biodiversity on the earth. It has more than 40,000 species of plants, 1,25,000 species of insect, 300 species of fish, 427 amphibians, 378 reptiles, 1300 species of birds and 427 of mammals. Then species area relationship. Von Humboldt has observed that within a region, species richness gets increased when explored area is increased, but only up to a limit. The relationship between species richness, that means the number of species present in that area, and the area for a number of taxa like angiospermic plant, freshwater fishes, bird is found to be a rectangular hyperbola. This graph is showing the relationship between species richness and the area. The equation is log S equal to log C plus Z log A, where the S is the species richness, Z is the slope of the line, area, A is the area, and C is the y-intercept. Ecologists have found that Z value ranges between 0.1 to 0.2 irrespective of the taxonomic group of the region. In very large area, this like continents, Z value ranges between 0.6 to 1.2. Importance of species diversity to ecosystem. Ecologists believe that the communities with more species tend to be more stable than those with less species. Attributes or characteristic of a stable community: it shall not show too much variation in year to year productivity. It must be either resistant, that means it can bear any disturbances, or resilient to seasonal disturbances. What is resilience? How quickly it will convert back to the normal state after a disturbance is known as the resilient capacity of a ecosystem. Then it must be resistant to alien species, that means the immigrant species, the emigrant species or the entrant. Then loss of biodiversity. The loss of biodiversity leads to decrease in plant production, less resistant to environmental disturbance, increases variability in ecosystem processes like plant productivity, water use, pest and disease cycle, etc. Then what are the causes of this biodiversity loss? The first one is the habitat loss and fragmentation. Destruction of habitat is the primary cause of extinction, because habitat where they live, and if it will destruct, there is no more house for them to live. So habitat loss is the main cause of the biodiversity loss. Then what is fragmentation? When large sized habitats are broken or fragmented due to human settlement, building of roads, digging of canal, animals requiring large territories and some animals with migratory habitats are badly affected. Then overexploitation. What is the meaning of overexploitation? When biological system is overexploited by the human being, it results in the degradation of extinction of resources. Then alien species invasion. Alien species, that means the invasive species, they cause maximum harmful impact and extinction of indigenous species, those who are living earlier in that area. Then coextinction. When a species become extinct, the plant and animal species associated with it in an obligatory manner also become extinct. For example, if the host species becomes extinct, all the parasites exclusively found on it will also become extinct. So, these are the possible causes of biodiversity loss. Then conservation. How to conserve the biodiversity? There are two basic approaches towards the conservation. One is in situ conservation, one is ex situ one. In situ conservation is the protection of biodiversity in its natural habitat, and ex situ is the conservation of a selected rare plant and animal outside their habitat. In situ conservation helps in recovering population, helping them to develop their distinctive features, and ex situ conservation helps in recovering the population in order to prevent their extinction. Then the examples of in situ conservations are national park, biosphere reserves, wildlife sanctuaries. Then examples of ex situ conservations are botanical gardens, zoological parks and safaris. So it is all about your conservation. There are two categories, one is in situ, one is ex situ. So I hope you really enjoyed this session. With this, I am completing my lecture on the chapter 15 of your 12th class NCERT biology book, which is biodiversity and conservation. And tomorrow is your exam. I have uploaded all the important points of every chapters of your book. So please go through that, watch those videos, and please like, share those videos with other friends and students, teachers, and subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial. Thank you.